Victorian Young Engineer of the Year and the 2015 Australian Young Engineer of the Year. He's the first Latrobe University graduate to receive this accolade. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Tim Dunlop.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. To the graduates, receiving your degrees today, congratulations. This is your day to celebrate the hard work, the sacrifice and the journey you have made so far. My early words of advice: cherish this very moment. I'm greatly honoured and humbled to be invited here to speak on such a grand occasion. To be back at Latrobe University in Bendigo, the place where I was provided the greatest of opportunities 11 years ago. The place where I was provided a ticket to take a journey in which I could have never imagined. Is here I acknowledge the commitment of Latrobe University has made to this region, a commitment we are all better for. Without this commitment, I could have only dreamed of attaining my Bachelor of Engineering. I certainly wouldn't be here making this address, and most importantly, I wouldn't be here dedicating my professional expertise for the betterment of regional Australia. As I noted, I was provided a ticket on a journey. The ticket is the degree each of the graduates will receive here today. This is the start of a journey of continual learning. For the engineers graduating today, we say you have now obtained Stage 1 competency. It is through the experience of work, mentoring from experienced professionals and further studies you may undertake, along with the personal journey you will experience, which will see each and every one of you develop into experienced professionals. It is the degree you receive today that will provide you all the opportunities the world has to offer. So reverting back to my earlier piece of advice regarding cherishing the moment, you're on a lifetime journey full of moments. Take the time to cherish each one of them. In continuing, it is important to, on occasions like this, provide some context about the achievements of today's graduates and the roles you have been empowered to undertake in our society. So I continue by providing a view on the following questions. What is required to ensure the success of our region? How are Latrobe University and each of the graduates contributing to the success of this region? And how can my personal experience provide some enlightenment on the journey you're about to commence? So what is required to ensure the success of the region? Well, the very thing that is required to ensure the success of this region is the very same thing that is required to ensure the success of Australia. It is a great time of macro change at the moment, or as I like to say, put it in there's a time of macro opportunity. There's rapid commercialisation of disruptive technologies, a democratisation of access to the internet and computing power, the globalisation of knowledge and talent, and the rising influence of Asia, of women and the ageing population. So our success as a nation relies on the ability to innovate, to provide world-class service, to harness our intellect and to add real value to our society. That society not just being here in Bendigo or in Australia, it's actually part of a world society. So how are Latrobe University and each of the graduates contributing to the success of this region and in turn Australia? Latrobe has made a tremendous commitment to regional Australia through the provision of world-class higher education. It is more important than ever that this higher education continues to be delivered in regional Australia. Further, it is vital that the connection between universities, industry, government and the profession continues to be strengthened. It is that these relationships that will see collaboration in the development of innovation, the innovation that is required to further our prosperity as a nation. It's great to see the university that gave me the very opportunity working to strengthen these relationships. This has been highlighted in the university's considerable investment and commitment to the engineering degree, and further highlighted only the other day with the announcement of the new STEM school at the Bendigo campus. A fantastic announcement. For the graduates, you make up part of your chosen profession, the important linchpin that understands your chosen industry, understands the educational system that you are a product of, and importantly now have Stage 1 expertise in your chosen area of practice. Don't undervalue the degree you have earned. It is a world-class degree in which you now have tremendous influence. As an engineer, I come from the STEM background. It is often we don't recognise our own tremendous ability, and too often we don't speak up on matters of importance. I encourage each of you, regardless of what degree you receive today, to be loud and proud of the profession you have chosen. There is need for professionals to provide input on a number of matters, whilst also maintaining integrity, respect and professionalism. Now, I am slightly biased being an engineer. So to the engineers, you're entering a profession that has a mix of creativity, discipline, high intelligence, humility, of idealism and practical reality. You're natural problem solvers, energised by the complexity and comfortable with working with abstraction and ambiguity. You may find yourself in areas of technical design and production, but you may find it surprising that you're just as likely to work in the areas of marketing, customer design and strategy. Just to confirm how wonderful you really are, Harvard released a study in 2004 identifying that 25% of the world's best performing CEOs studied engineering. So here's to the engineers. Now, I could talk about how great engineers are all day, but to provide some relevance to everyone graduating here today, you're all wonderful. And PricewaterhouseCoopers released a report in April identifying that 75% of the fastest growing occupations require STEM skills. So in essence, the point I make, have faith in the degree you have earned. It is a very exciting time to enter the workplace and it is full of opportunity. Now, my final point is to provide some reflection on my journey and hopefully some enlightenment for those graduating today. So here I go. Number one piece of enlightenment. Our professional journey and personal journey are not mutually exclusive. Rather, they are mutually inclusive. Each of you will take different paths and have different experiences. My path certainly has, or was certainly, out of the ordinary. I started growing up on a farm on the outskirts of Bendigo in the small town of Axdale. I started my career as an apprentice welder at the age of 16, almost leaving the high school to pursue this career further. However, through an inquisitive mind, I have decided to complete my high school education, then enrolling in a Bachelor of Engineering at Latrobe University Bendigo. Now, this is where things become really interesting. Somewhat out of the ordinary, my mother also enrolled at university to undertake her Bachelor degree. Boy, oh boy, was I embarrassed at the time. I now reflect on the great achievement she has made as a mature age student, but she's always also taken away the glory moment for me, the moment of becoming the first in my family to achieve a bachelor degree. Yes, unfortunately, I had to hand this moment of glory over to my mother. Some may well be correct in saying this was well earned, especially given the stress I caused her as she raised me. University time has had another significant event for me. It was during my final year of university I became a father. This in turn required me to study full time, and let me tell you, a final year engineering degree is not easy. Along with working 30 hours a week to support my new family, along with caring for a newborn. Many thought I would not succeed in managing all this. I even had some seeds of doubt. But sometimes life does throw some interesting things at you. And it was this very moment that provided me the biggest opportunity of all. During this time, I developed a self-belief, a work ethic, and proved to myself that I could do anything. It is these very traits that developed during this period that have sat alongside my education, allowing me to achieve a number of things I otherwise thought impossible. From here, I entered the world as a professional engineer, working to realise infrastructure projects throughout Australia, and as mentioned, projects such as the Australian Pacific Liquefied Natural Gas Project in Gladstone and the World Bank-funded Leah Island Ring Road in PNG. And locally, I've had the benefit of working on some fantastic projects that were mentioned earlier. But just like my final year of university, I still challenge myself each and every day. And just like my final year of university, I'm as busy as ever. As mentioned earlier, I'm the Managing Director of Regional Management Group and sit on a number of committees as well, which do keep me very occupied, which I'm proud to be also the Vice Chair of the Engineering Course Advisory Committee for Latrobe. And just to prove that our professional journey and personal journey are mutually inclusive, I'm now the proud father of 2 children. As acknowledged earlier by Chancellor, I was awarded the 2000 Victorian Young Engineer of the Year and the 2015 Australian Young Engineer. This was the most humbling experience, not just because of the high esteem this award is held in, but I was able to share the moment with my son that became the part of life during that very, very busy final year of university. Now, I provide my story, not to boast, rather to provide an example to each of you graduates. It doesn't matter what background you come from or what pathway your journey takes. All you need to do is believe in yourself, work hard, use your world-class education, and then go and achieve great things. Good luck to each and every one of you. Thank you.
On behalf of everyone here today, I'd like to thank Tim Dunlop for giving us such a stimulating address. We are incredibly proud of what Tim has achieved and grateful for his dedication to and support for Latrobe University and the work we do in regional Victoria. He is the perfect embodiment of what's so fantastic about all of our graduates who have crossed the stage today. Let's give him another round of applause. Thank you. Tim's given us a lot to think about, not the least of which is that today marks the beginning of the next stage of your lives. In American universities, graduation ceremonies are called commencements, reflecting the fact that they mark the beginning, not the end of a process, or at least an important transition from one phase of life to the next. I encourage you to take Tim's advice, to challenge yourselves continually, and to spend time nourishing the important relationships in your personal lives and the same way that you work at your career. On behalf of you all, I'd like to thank Tim very much indeed and invite you to show your appreciation.